Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. And today I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to fish marina boat docks, because you know there's a lot of stuff about marina docks that are different from like residential docks and the piling type docks that are on so many lakes. Residential docks hold bass all year long. It's a great way to catch numbers and size of fish. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice on how to catch these fish off marina docks. So here we go. One of the first areas I like to fish on these marina docks is the walkway themselves. I mean, these walkways are really good places to catch fish. They provide a lot of horizontal cover, and the walkways themselves can be a lot of different lengths, depending upon, how far they out are they from the bank, the angle of the bank, the slope and that type of stuff. But in a lot of situations, these bass will set up around any type of cover like this, especially the floats in the shallow part. And if you notice, like here up on the real shallow floats, the ones that are closest to the bank right here, like right here, sometimes even if the water's clear and 2 feet deep, those fish will get up there and suspend underneath those floats anytime that water temperature is like over 60 degrees. Here's another key structure or portion of the dock that you need to pay attention to. The place where the walkway actually joins the main part of the dock. This is the key area as well. These areas right here, right where the walkway joins the dock, high percentage areas these bass will get and set up on all these inside lines like this. Okay, the slips themselves in these commercial docks, these marina docks, these are probably one of the best things that I like to fish here, because depending upon what part of the dock that you're talking about, every one of these slips here is going to be in a different depth zone. Obviously the slips closest to the bank are going to be shallower. What happens is on the shallower part of the slips here, if you've got anywhere between like 5 to 10 foot of water, a lot of these fish are going to be setting up on the bottom in these particular areas. And as you move deeper, as you actually go deeper on the docks and deeper water, that's when those fish tend to suspend more. And as you get farther out in the water, where the water depth starts to get like over 15 or 20 feet, the fish will start suspending underneath the floats here. They're not really as much on the bottom as you get deeper. Sometimes not only they suspend under the floats, but say for example on the ends of the docks, if you're way out on the ends of them, these fish can be suspended maybe halfway down. Sometimes the water's 40, 50 feet deep on the ends, or excuse me, in the middle of some of these docks. These fish will suspend, halfway down, catch them on a big jigging spoon, drop shot, that type of stuff. And ideally, you want to try to fish as close as you can to the walkway here. Now, a lot of times there's boats in these slips and they're hard to get to, but these areas right here, where the inside part of the slip meets the dock, these are high percentage areas because the fish do not get pressured very much. You can see there's lots of nooks and crannies underneath there that the fish can get into. So just remember, on the main thing, it's a combination of water visibility, water depth, time of year. Based upon the time of year, these fish will use different depth zones on it. If you're in the colder water months or the warmer water months, they're going to be suspended. A lot of times, if it's closer to the spring, they're going to be closer to the walkway. Now, moving out farther, as we get out farther on the end here, most of the time you're talking about the deepest water, and these can be, like I said, anywhere between 20 to 60 foot deep, depending upon it. As you get out into this portion of the dock, the very ends of it, this is when these fish are definitely going to be suspended. And one of the favorite ways I like to fish for them is to go on this outside edge of the dock, the deepest part of it. And a lot of times you'll have cables, like steel cables, extending off into the lake. Those bass will relate to those steel cables. They relate to the foam underneath it, and just to the cover halfway down. So a lot of times too, they'll be just out in the front of the dock, out here in front of it, suspended, if the water is clear enough. So there you have it, guys. That's just sort of the simple approach that I use to fishing these marina docks. Just remember, it's a combination of water clarity, water temperature, the angle of the bank, the depth of the water under certain parts of the dock. These docks, these marina docks, are like condos for the bass. I mean, literally, they live on them all year long. I mean, the bass will spawn on the inside part of the bank in the springtime of the year. Large population of fish. They never leave these things. They use these docks all year long, because another thing you'll notice about marina docks, there's usually a lot of perch around them. There's a lot of algae growing on these docks. The perch stay around to feed on this algae that's growing on the side of the docks. keeps the bass here all year long. They live here all year. It's sort of an art form, you know, to fishing docks. It's not easy. A lot of times you got to work around, you know, boats that are in the slips there, which is a pain in the butt. Usually, you know, the docks that have the boats in the slips are better because it provides even more overhead cover for the fish. But just learn to fish them. I mean, get in there, mix it up a little bit, experiment with it, and it's going to be a good way to catch fish 12 months out of the year. So anyway, I think it'll help you catch a few more fish, guys, and thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to y'all later.